Hey guys, this is Locke. In this video, it's going to be another guide about how to acquire Mindspheres and stars and things like that in preparation for saving for the Final Fantasy VII collaboration that's going to hit probably within a month. Now, I already made a video before with some of this advice, but in that video, there were a lot of advice that I got from the community, which I thought was really, really good advice. So I probably know that a lot of people don't read all the comments, or maybe some people that see this video haven't seen the previous video. And I really wanted to get those tips from the community out because I thought they were really, really good. And additionally, there are some things that we have to consider that I didn't talk about in the previous video, like the banners that are out and things like that. So that's why I thought I would make another video, because I mean, again, Final Fantasy VII is coming probably within a month. So the faster I get this advice out, the faster you guys can start doing these things and saving up for that collaboration. So I'm going to start with the banners right now. So there were a couple of banners that hit this week. I already pulled on one of them, but this one I haven't, and I'll talk about this one briefly. So this one is guaranteed to get basically 50 UR shards per pull times 10 summons, so basically 500 shards, right? And this is for 2k. Now, is this a good value or not? First of all, let's look at what you can get for 2k if you don't consider the banner. Like, suppose you already have Cloud, and for 2k Vizier, you can buy 40 shards, right? So in most cases, I think, especially for people that have a lot of these units, I think this is always going to be a good deal for people like that, because this is basically 500 shards, which translates to 500 Mindspheres. And if you look at the value of these Mindspheres, sorry, I went to the wrong shop. I'm going to go to the Mog shop. If you look at the value of these Mindspheres, they are basically at the cheapest level, it's you can get 50 shards for 200 Mindspheres, but at the most expensive level, you can get 50 shards for 500 Mindspheres. So basically, there's your 500 shards that you are spending on this banner. So basically, you will always get at least 50 shards for the value of this banner from one unit, right? Again, you can get like 50 shards for 2 units if you're only spending 250 Mindspheres each on both the units, but it will always be a good deal as long as you can actually get 500 shards. Now, I don't have all the units maxed out, so I might get something like, say, 400 or 350 Mindspheres or something. But I think, that's still a pretty good deal for me. I think for people that have very few units maxed out, then maybe it's not a good deal, because then you'll probably get, like 500 shards of random units, and you might not always even use all those units. So then you might have to consider, I think in most cases, this will still be a pretty good banner. But if you are a very new player that just doesn't have most of these units, then maybe that's the only reason I would reconsider it. But I mean, if you're a new player that doesn't have most of these units, I think it's a great way to build all these units, right? Because if you get at least a pull from one of these units, that's already 50 shards for that one unit that you're spending 2k Vizier for. So I think it's almost always going to be a good deal. So I would advise pulling on this one. Now, there was another banner for 2k Vizier, which gives you 5 guaranteed UR pulls and 5 other random things. I think regardless of where you are in the game, that is always going to be a good banner to pull on if you think about the conversion to shards, because basically 5 URs translates to 20 stars per UR, which is basically 100 stars. For 100 stars, you can get a lot, right? Like, you can get 20 shards at 1 cost per shard, and then I think it goes up to 3. So that's for 80 stars, you can already get 40 shards of whatever you want, right? So that's basically always going to be good. I mean, and if you're investing in 2 or 3 units, then basically you would spend, like, say, 20 on the first unit and then 20 on the second unit, and already you have 40 shards for 2k pull. And then you also get a bunch of other stuff, like 5 new URs, and maybe you don't have URs already. So like, maybe you don't have all the URs, so you're getting something new. Maybe, like in my case, I don't have more yet, so maybe I would pull more when I get that. I already pulled it, so that's why I don't have that banner available. But I would highly recommend that everyone pulls on that. Now, if you have paid Visior, you can make the call if you want to pull on that or not. I think it's a pretty good deal, especially with the conversion to shards. Sorry, not the shards. Conversion to stars. I think that's a pretty good deal for 2K paid Visior. So I already pulled the paid banners, and I pulled the other banner as well. I was going to pull on this, but then I thought I would just make a video talking about this for a second before I pull on it. But that's the first thing I want to talk about, these banners. Take advantage of them. If you want to think of it as a good deal or not, just look at the value you would get for 2K Visior, and look at the guaranteed value, right? Like, don't be like, oh, I'm gonna pull on this, and maybe I would land it, or maybe I won't for 2K. Like, that's not guaranteed. But for 2K Visior, you're guaranteed to get 40 shards if you buy it in the shop, right? And at some point, you'll probably have to buy some shards or something for 2K Visior to max out a unit. You're probably unlikely to get the entire 1,000 shards that you need from something. You probably need to spend at least a little bit of Visior to get the shards that you need to fully max it out. So 40 shards for 2K Visior. Is there any banners that I can pull on which gives me the equivalent of that 40 shards or better for 2K Visior? That's how you should think when you are looking at these banners, to say, hey, should I pull on this or not? So that's the first piece of advice. The second piece of advice is actually coming from the community. This is regarding the friend medals and the guild medals. So for the friend medals, you can exchange up to 40 of these friend medals a day for 40 Mindspheres. So I can, exchange these shards, and every single day I can get 40 of these Mindspheres. And I think that's a pretty good deal for friend medals. Now, for some of these, I'm already going over the amount I need. Like, for example, I already have 458 ketone Mindspheres, so I only need 400 to get her to level 120. So I'm going overboard, but I think it's worth it because I really want these Mindspheres in preparation for Final Fantasy VII. So, I mean, if you're at the stage where you have all 4 of these units maxed out to level 99, you don't even have to have them maxed out. If you have, say, 600 of these shards, then when you buy these shards, they translate to Mindspheres. I would recommend you do that because, again, 40 shards a day from these, it builds up, and you basically have a much easier time getting the units that you want to level 120. So I would definitely do this as much as you have these friend medals and guild medals. So I showed you the friend medals just now. It's the same thing with the guild medals, but you only get 30 a day, and I would recommend that you do these because it's a good deal. At least to me it is, right? And if on the day of I happen to need just a little bit more of a boost, I would probably buy these as well for 40 additional Mindspheres. But I mean, I'm not in a hurry to buy these because this is only a limited of 1 a day. And I'll probably run out of guild medals and friend medals before I actually get to the point of being able to exchange these if I'm doing this every day. So there's no rush to buy these. I can just get them when I need to get the additional boost of Mindspheres on the day that I need it or something, and I happen to have extra guild or friend medals or something like that. So I would recommend that you do that. Now, there's something else you can do with friend medals as well. Again, it's another tip from the community. You can buy 1 of these expedition tickets a day, and you can spend up to 5 of them a day. So if you start buying them now and saving up for when the collaboration hits, you will have a lot of these saved up. Like, say it hits in 30 days, you'll have 30 of these. Assuming you have enough friend medals left for that, you'd be able to use a lot of these when the collaboration hits. Now, personally, I'm not going to do that because I am instead more interested in getting the Mindspheres, and I'm already spending, say, 2,000 of these friend medals a day exchanging for these 40 Mindspheres. So if I'm I'm gonna run out. Like, I will probably be able to do that in, like, say, 15 days, and then I'll run out of friend medals. So I probably won't be doing this because I already have a ton of these 5-hour tickets. So I probably have enough to last for the collaboration. So I'm not going to be spending extra friend medals for that because I think I don't need to get the 10-hour ones simply because I have the 5-hour ones. But you can make the judgment call on which is more better for you, these expedition tickets or these medals. Maybe you are in a position where you have none of these 4 units maxed out. Like you don't have them at level 99, you don't have 600 spheres for them, so getting these, buying these shards won't actually translate to mind spheres. So maybe it'll be better for you to just buy these expedition tickets, right? I mean, there's no one right way of doing this. You can buy either or, you can get a mix, whatever you want to do. It's up to you. So it's another piece of advice that people in the community threw out, and I thought that was a fantastic piece of advice. I really wanted to share it with you. Make sure you do these. So I can get basically 70 of these mind spheres a day by exchanging this and these friend medals and guild medals. Now I spoke about exchanging for these what is it called? These 3-unit shard. These guild summon tickets when the banner hits. So these last for 7 days, and I'm planning on pulling for all 3. Like Tifa is already guaranteed, so I might as well get as many shards of her as I want, even though I'm not that interested in building her. But if I have enough mind spheres and enough star medals to get and invest in all 3, basically Tifa, Aerith, and Cloud, I would probably do that. So I am basically interested in pulling for 3 units, and I would spend basically 25 million gil times 3 times 7 on these banners. So for that, I will need 525 million gil to be able to pull on all of these 3 banners. So I have to make sure I have enough gil saved up for that. So I have 424 million. And so I will need at least another 100, but I'll probably need to farm like say 200, 300 because there'll be daily expenditures and other things that come up that I'll probably want to be spending on. So I would spend a weekend or two just farming for that. So make sure, if you're interested in pulling for all 4, make sure you have enough gil farmed up to be pulling on these banners, because I think, collecting shards for gil is, I think, a very, very good deal. So I would definitely recommend you pull on these gil banners for the units that you're really interested in. Now I'm going to be repeating some advice just in case you haven't seen the previous video and you're only watching this video. So I would just repeat this advice. I have put in my barracks. I basically put in units that I already have maxed out, except for Cecil, because I'm very close to getting him to level 99, so I really want to unlock his TMR. But if you are if you are really committed to saving up as much as you can for the Final Fantasy VII banner, I would highly recommend that you put 5 units in here that are already at level 99 or that already have 600 of these shards, because whenever you get shards now, they automatically translate to mind spheres. So you can get 2 a day for each of these units. So basically you're getting 10 mind spheres a day from these guild barracks basically for free, right? So I think that's a good source of these soul medals that translates to mind spheres. So I would definitely recommend that you do that. But I mean, again, it doesn't make sense for everybody to do that. Even for myself, I'm only following 80% of the advice because I have Cecil in here. But you decide if that's worth it for you or not, depending on who you want to invest in. And finally, another piece of repeat advice is the hard quests. So generally these days I do the hard quests for units that I already have maxed out to level 99, like Garvel, Ulcerel, Howlett. So these units I already have maxed out. So when I do the hard quest, I get 2 of their mind spheres, because I don't have 600 of their mind spheres yet. Sorry, I don't have 400 of their mind spheres yet. So I try to max their mind spheres to 400, while at the same time I get soul medals that would enable me to exchange for these Final Fantasy VII mind spheres. So I recommend that you do that. if you are in a mode to save for the Final Fantasy 7 units that come, because like these units you can always farm whenever. When the collaboration finishes and you really want to invest in, say, Luelle, like I do, I only have around 300 of her shards, so I would like to invest in her and get her up to 600 one day, because I would like to unlock our TMR. But it's not so important for me to do that right now. So for me right now, I really want to just save for the Final Fantasy 7 banners. So I am going to skip her and instead just pull on, like, say, 5 of the units that I already have maxed out to 99. That way I can get 10 Mindspheres a day from this, and 10 Mindspheres a day from Guild Barracks, and then 70 Mindspheres a day from the Friend Medals and from the Guild Medals. And then from the other banners, like the ones that I talked about, I can get quite a bit of Mindspheres there as well. So I think, as long as I can pull the units that I want, like I'm pretty sure I can at least pull Cloud, because I should have at least 40,000 Visior for that. If I can get 80,000 Visior, I should be in a good position to pull Cloud and Aerith, and Tifa is given for free. So I feel like I'll be in a good position. I think I have like 1,800 of these Mindspheres that I can exchange. I'll probably have something like, I don't know, 2,000, maybe 500 or so, and maybe more depending on the other banners that come out. So I think I'm in a good place to invest on these units as long as I can pull them. So I wanted to share that, this advice with you, so that you don't feel like you need, say, 200,000 Visior to pull and invest in these units. You can, as long as you get the units, and you need 40,000 max to guarantee one of these units, you can get a significant amount of shards and Mindspheres from the star system, and from exchanging the soul medals for Mindspheres. So anyway, that's my advice. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it makes sense. If you have even more tips, do share, because you guys gave some really good tips in the previous video. And if you have more tips to share, please leave them down below, and I will do my best to get that advice out as well. If there's more significant tips, I'll try to pin the really good tips and things like that. But anyway, thanks for sharing the previous tips, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have other questions or comments, or if anything's unclear, please leave a comment below, and I'll do my best to respond to it. Anyway, I hope to see you guys in the next video. Take care now.